எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். இங்கே ஆம்ஸ்டர்டாமோட வெஸ்ட் பகுதியில் இருக்கிற ஒரு ஆர்கானிக் ஃபார்மில் தான் இருக்கோம். இங்கே ரொம்ப ஒரு சில ஃபார்ம்ஸ் தான் கம்யூனிட்டி சப்போர்ட்டட் அக்ரிகல்ச்சர் மாடலில் காய்கறி சப்ளை பண்ணிகிட்ருக்காங்க. அப்படியான ஒரு ஃபார்முக்கு இங்கே வந்திருக்கோம். அவங்க எப்படி பண்ணுறாங்கன்னு அவங்ககிட்ட பேசி தெரிஞ்சுக்கலாம் வாங்க. ஹாய்.
Hi.
Your name please?
Michel.
Michel. Okay.
Yeah.
So how long you have been doing this?
This is the 8th year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are the one responsible for this, or is this a team
Yeah,
work?
I started this farm alone.
Okay.
As a part-time project to see if I could do this and if it would be feasible. And then the second year I did full-time, and then after that people started working here. And
What are the vegetables and greens you are producing here?
here we have some lettuce. This is the salad mix that we grow. Over there we still have cavolo
Okay.
or palm cabbage sometimes called. We have some coriander and some herbs here. And that's about it. We are almost done planting for the season.
Oh, okay.
The last planting outside is about now. And then in the greenhouse we plant everything in September for the fall. Most of this will go out about half of September. Because then the temperatures drop and the sunlight goes down here.
Okay.
Yeah, these are all the warmth-loving crops in the greenhouse. So we have different kinds of basil, lemon basil, purple basil, Thai basil. We have some beans in here, some specialty beets, verbena,
Okay.
and over there more beets. We have lemongrass as well, which we grow for restaurants.
Oh.
Because we grow most of our products for restaurants.
So do you have pest attacks?
Yeah, of course we have pest attacks. It depends a little bit on the crop. But we grow a lot of different crops, so sometimes something fails, but we have enough other things. We also use insect nettings, well, in this case the oxalis wants a bit of shade, so we use this for shade, but we can also use this for insect cover. We don't use pesticides, we're organic. We do use organic methods sometimes.
Like pest repellents, some solutions?
We use some for slugs. We use ecological pellet, but mostly we use for cabbages. We use the bacteria, the BT. It's a bacteria that eats or kills the caterpillars. Because otherwise we can't grow.
That
cabbages.
is given as a powder or liquid?
It's a powder, but you put it in water and then you spray it on the plant, and then the caterpillars they stop eating or they die from eating. Otherwise, it would be impossible to grow that, because even with the net, they just find their way underneath.
Yeah.
But as you see, we have loads of bees in this. So we have a lot of flowering plants. So there's plenty of insects that don't die from being in our garden. So yeah, biodiversity is very important.
Yes,
It's one of my primary motivations is to integrate some biodiversity in the farm.
நம்ம ஊரில் இருக்கிற பசலக்கீரை எங்கள் மலபார் ஸ்பினாச்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. இதுவும் இங்கே யூஸ் பண்ணுறாங்களாம், வச்சுருக்காங்க.
Yeah, every year we try to do some new crops, some experiments. So Malabar spinach for us, it's the first year, so we didn't grow so much of it. Yeah, so like I said, we grow most of what we grow for restaurants. That's how I started the farm. Because of COVID, we also started doing veggie boxes for members, and now we also sell single veggie boxes. Yeah, and
so is that share or?
The members have a share. Basically, they become member of the farm and they get a beautiful box every week. We try to balance it. We don't only put crops in or products in that are from the farm. We also work with other farms in the Netherlands. But everything that's in the box is always from the Netherlands, so it's always as locally as possible.
Okay.
We try to balance the box, so we never put only leafy greens in the box. There's always hard vegetable, leafy greens, some herbs, often some fruit or mushrooms. We also work with mushroom farms. There's one mushroom farm next to us who we work with. And my partner she's a chef, so she thinks of the recipes. But I try to combine products that are nice together. And we also share recipes in the newsletter for members or people who get a veggie box. So and then also we put in we grow a lot of unusual vegetables for most people they're unusual, or herbs, and then we give them recipes like, okay, you can do this with it, also to introduce them to new things. Because I think it's important to
try
widen our diet, new things, and also try to grow new things.
What does the share of vegetable box cost?
Yeah, they can either pay everything to support us in the beginning, so we can invest a little bit in the season. But people can also choose to pay in separate installments. So that's however they choose. But people, if they don't want to be a member, they can also get a single box. So they only order one box through our WhatsApp groups.
Okay.
And then we know in the beginning of the week they can order, and then we make the box for them. So try to make it as easy as possible, because it's already a lot of work to distribute that, and that's also why we don't make the boxes yet that people can choose what to put in, because it's for us it's too complicated. We need good systems for that, and maybe in the future we can develop those systems. That would be my goal, to make that more accessible. But it's one way. You can also, there's plenty of farms that sell on the markets, and then people can choose what to eat. So that's another way. So yeah.
So I think only in summer few times you need to use this irrigation, like that sprinkling pipe, right?
Well, it can be really dry here. Well, this year it was really wet, so we didn't use it that much.
Okay.
But yeah, last year we used it a lot more. Yeah.
So do you give fertilizers or compost for the soil?
We use a lot of compost, yeah. We use some fertilizer. We use an organic NPK, but there's a lot of trace minerals in there. And we use some liquid fertilizer, but not so much. It's mostly for the greenhouse crops.
Okay. So do you buy those compost or you make it?
Yeah, we make our own compost, but that's not enough. We're on a really heavy clay soil here, so like sea clay. When I got this land, it was blue clay, so there was no oxygen in it whatsoever.
Okay.
So we added a lot of compost, and we are opening the soil with the broad fork to aerate it. And the compost is very important for the structure.
Okay.
And it gives also fertilizer, but sometimes some plants need a bit of extra nitrogen or one of the other minerals.
How many people support you in this farm work?
So the team now is about 5 people.
Okay.
Most of them are part-time. And then we also have occasional volunteers. We had an intern for the last 2 months who came from France to learn here what it's about. Occasionally volunteers that stay and then come for like half a day. But that's, for us, that's a bit of a bonus. But the core team is 5 people. We have a really small base. We're not even half an acre in 2 gardens. So this is one garden. The second garden is at the hotel. It's in the back there. It's with all the wooden houses. It's about 0.8 acre.
Do you lease or rent this land? Or
we lease it. In the winter we buy in a lot of vegetables from other Dutch farms that have more root crops, because on this scale growing root crops for us it's not profitable.
Okay.
So we buy a lot of potatoes and parsnips and lots of different things that we can grow here. Also to supplement for the restaurant, so they can get a lot of different things that we don't grow. We also sell that to them, and then we source it as organic as we can.
So what about the seeds? Do you have seeds on your own, or do you buy from some?
Most seeds we buy, because with a lot of seeds it's very difficult. We grow about 120 different crops.
Oh, okay.
So it's for a lot of different things, it's really difficult to get the seeds. For some things it's really easy, but it depends on if there's other plants that cross. But things like we grow tomatillos, it's pretty easy to get the seeds from some fruit. Fennel, I think we could get some seeds.
Are they hybrid seeds or?
We have some hybrids, but most is open pollinated.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the lettuce we grow is hybrid, but it's a really good one, so we don't want to get rid of it. But a lot of things, especially these herbs, the shiso and the huacatay is a Mexican herb. These things.
What is this used for?
This is a shiso. That's from. They use this a lot in Japanese cooking, also in Chinese cooking, I think.
Oh.
But you have different varieties of shiso. This is the 2-colored one. And we also have a green one, and there's a red shiso that's used in Japan for meat dishes a lot. But it's really difficult to find good seeds for that.
This one?
That is called agretti, and that's an Italian vegetable. We also have something wild that looks like it, but this is the Italian variety. And it's a sea vegetable. It's a bit salty, and it's nice for stir fry. We have mint in the other garden, but we don't grow a lot of mint. It's not as popular. Coriander is a lot more popular with restaurants.
Okay. So these are spring onions, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Fennel.
What about government support for farmers?
Well, on this scale, there's no support, but there are some options for from the municipality. But it's usually 1/2 to get started, and we didn't get any subsidy until now. So, yeah, we try to do it without.
What about the pricing? Do you get fair price for your produce? Is it profitable?
It's difficult because in the Netherlands, the average price for vegetables is probably the lowest, at least in all of Europe or in the Western world, because we're the number 2 exporter of agriculture products. So there's a lot of food being grown here, so the prices are really low. And it's difficult to compete with that. So we can't raise our prices too much. In some cases, we are more expensive than large-scale agriculture. But yeah, we try to find the people that value what we do in this scale. And we don't use a lot of machines, and we try to plant also for extra biodiversity with hedges and do everything organic. So people that appreciate that, they pay a little bit more.
Yeah.
But we can't charge even more. So it's not the most profitable job in the world. That I can tell you.
So you're doing for your passion, or?
Yeah, my passion, and for me it's a lifestyle, and it's something I believe in. So that's why I'm doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you in touch with other people who do in the same organic way in Netherlands?
With some of them, but there's a lot of people doing similar things. But yeah, I'm in touch with some people, and I'm involved with some organizations that work with this type of agriculture. So here we have the zucchinis.
Zucchini.
Yeah, we also do summer squashes that are a bit different than the zucchini. Here we have cucumbers, the wild or pickle cucumbers, the ones we put in vinegars. Is these?
Oh, pickle cucumber.
Yeah,
oh.
They're a bit hairy, but these are traditionally put in a vinegar solution and pickled. And then we have the beans. We also grow quite a bit of edible flowers, like these are the lemon marigolds and nasturtiums.
What dish they make out of this?
Well, it depends. We work with a lot of creative chefs. So what they think of, sometimes they dry it. Usually it's as a garnish, but with this you could also make a dessert out of this. I have eaten desserts at one of my customers with the nasturtiums, the one on the left.
This one?
Yeah. Yeah, and this is also an Italian vegetable. This is a puntarella, which is close to dandelion. It's a dandelion type leaf. It's quite bitter, but in Italy they make pastas out of it.
Oh, out of the leaves?
Out of the leaves, yeah.
Okay.
We also have a variety that makes flower shoots, and then you get like an asparagus out of this. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, we grow a lot of lettuce, so salad mix.
These are everything?
Well, these are little gems. These are romaine lettuce, so these we sell as a head. And these we cut and then make a mix out of it.
Oh.
But yeah. And this is the sprouting broccoli, which is also, I think, an Italian vegetable, though it's a cross between broccoli and kailan.
Oh.
The Chinese also broccoletto, they call it.
Okay.
So you can use these, especially these shoots. This is what you harvest. It's a shoot, and you can use it for stir frying. And as you can see, we have the caterpillar on there. So
yeah.
But until now, they weren't a big problem. But yeah, sometimes we have to